except the man over here. So what I'd like to do is we'd like to make this a spotlight panel on Greg for all the questions over here. I'll be back at the booth. I'll be getting back at 3:30, so if you have any questions for me, I'll be able to answer them there. And I have Roberto Cruz over here right now. He'll be the moderator of this panel. So please, any questions? Please get them to Greg, and please everybody enjoy yourself here. I want to thank everybody for the support of DC. We've had a great time with the new 52, and the success of that is based because of you folks here and your excitement and the involvement that you've had with this. So thank you now, and I'm going to turn you over to Mr. Greg and Mr. Roberto. Enjoy. Thank you.
I got two questions. How many people here like Mofongo? Yeah, me too, me too. And now, how many people here like Batman? All right, we like to hear that. So they just kind of threw me at this thing, and I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to talk about or anything like that, you know. But you know, I'm not really a shy guy, so I figured I'd just give you a little quick rundown, and then you guys can ask me anything you want. I will answer anything you ask me if I have the answer to give to you. Unless, of course, it's something that they will threaten me with death. That's the secret. But, you know, you heard I'm Greg Capullo, whatever, and comic book artist. I've been doing it since like 1989, you know, and I'm fortunate enough to have had a lot of nice jobs. You know, I worked on X-Force, you know, over at Marvel Comics, you know, and I worked on Spawn for Image Comics for a lot of years, you know, when that was like a high-flying book. And then I kind of took like a 9-year layoff from comics, and I was still working in the industry, but sort of behind the scenes, and came back and did you know, a short run with Robert Kirkland on a book called Haunt, and now I'm working for DC with the relaunch 52 doing Batman. So I've had a great time doing all this stuff because, you know, I wanted to be a comic book artist since I was like 8 years old. You know, I've been drawing superheroes for as long as I could hold a pencil. And you know, when I was in high school, I used to get in trouble for it, you know, because when I'm supposed to be doing the schoolwork, I'm drawing superheroes, you know. And anybody here take algebra? Algebra sucks, doesn't it? Algebra sucks. Will you ever use algebra ever in your life? No. No, I've never used any algebra. So anyway, I was in algebra class, you know, and they give me these tests, and you know, you might as well hand me like something from another planet. I'm like, what the hell is this, you know? And so I turn it over and I draw like Captain America or Conan the Barbarian or, you know, something. And you know, I'd hand the test back, and Mr. Parlin was my teacher, and he'd give the test and he goes, Gregory, this test is blank. And I'd say, no man, turn it over, turn it over. And he'd see a superhero and go, F! And what? That's a good drawing, that's a good drawing. So anyway, but you know, long story short, you know, school, I wasn't, you know, I didn't apply myself like I should because I was too busy with the superheroes. But it worked out for me, man. You know, the school paid me to go and talk to students in art classes later on. So, any of you, probably some of you want to be comic book artists. Anybody? Yeah? So, pay attention to school, do the school thing, but pour all your heart and soul into it, man, because if it's really your dream to do it, you know, there's no better way to make a living than doing what you really love to do. So, I mean, I work hard, you know, like sometimes, you know, 12 hours a day, every single day. And but if you love it, it beats like putting on a roof, you know, or something like that. So, you know, what kind of questions do you have for me? Do you have questions?
Yeah, many tips for drawing out, tips.
In drawing?
Yeah, for struggling artists.
Well, here, the thing is, you know, it's like with anything, man, and you can apply it to anything in life, you know, whether it's sports or a plumber or anything. You know, you have to learn what you're doing, and you need to practice what you're doing, and through repetition, you get better. And, you know, one of the things I say is, you know, never say I want to be a comic book artist. I say say you want to be a commercial artist, because the doors, there's many more doors, excuse me, available to you. And so become a good draftsman. You know, learn everything there is about your craft, you know, learn the human figure, learn the anatomy, learn folds of clothing, proper perspective, use of light and shadow, yeah, on and on and on and on. And just hone your craft. And be prepared to work hard at it. You know, a lot of guys go, oh, good luck. You know, and I go, you know, F good luck. I mean, you know, good luck only gets you so far. You know, I might swear. I hope you're not offended because I'm trying to be controlled, but I swear sometimes a little much. Anyway, you know, hard work is what it really is all about. You know, and I tell people, you know, it's a lot like prize fighting. I go, you know, a guy wants to be a prize fighter, right? Well, he's got to run miles a day. He's got to hit the bag. He's got to do his push-ups. He's got to eat a certain way. It's hard work. And then once he gets the title, it doesn't end there. Christ, then the work is even harder, right? Because then somebody else wants the belt, right? So you don't tell me something, you don't want to take Batman from me? I know that you do. And so, you know, I got to stay strong, and I got to work hard, and I got to put my best effort forward all the time, no matter how hard it is, and how much sacrifice it takes. You know, I'm a musician, and I had to quit playing in my band. I had to break the band up. There's no time for it. So it takes sacrifice, too. So, yeah, the advice is work your ass off, and if you're lucky enough to get in there, be prepared to be working twice as hard, man, because it's a tough job, and you have to have an understanding girlfriend or husband or wife or whatever, because you're dedicated to your work, man. So that's my advice. Anybody else got questions? Yeah?
How was working with Mark Gruenwald in the 80s when you were drawing Quasar?
Yeah, Mark was a super sweet guy. You know, many of you probably heard his name, many of you haven't. But he was a writer on my first full-time book at Marvel Comics, Quasar. And he was just a sweetheart of a guy who met with an unfortunate fate, you know. It's like heart trouble ran in his family, you know. And so he stayed skinny as a pin, and he ate everything like a rabbit eats, you know. And but at 40 years old, he just was taken out one night in his sleep. But it was nothing but a pleasure working with Mark, man. He was just a sweetheart of a guy, you know. Nothing bad could be said about him from anybody's mouth. He was just a good person, you know. So I had a good time. Yeah? Anybody? Yeah?
How in sync do you have to be with your writer? Since Snyder's writing like 5 comic books at the same time, I was wondering something as complicated as the concept art for the Court of Owls. Is that all on the page in the script you get from him? Or do you
well, I mean, Scott and I, first off, it's up to him to coordinate with other writers, you know, with the crossover stuff. I'm not really involved on that level. That's all the writing department. And with me, it was like, with the first Talon, he, you know, when it was up to me to come up with the visual, he came up to me with an idea of sort of where he wanted to fly with that. And then, of course, I put my flavor on it, you know. And like, for instance, the Executioner's hood, he's got kind of a hood. And Scott envisioned it more like a mask that, you know, like G.I. Joe Cobra or something like that. And when he first saw my hood, he was like, oh, I was thinking more of this. And it's like, I think this is cool, you know. And so, you know, the way it rolls with Scott and I is like, and he'll say it, he said it publicly, he goes, Greg, you know, I have it the way I think I want it. And then Greg shows me how I really want it, you know, so then he goes, no, the Executioner hood is cool, man. So, I mean, the visual's all pretty much me, you know, he kind of goes like this. The one where it was like all him, really, is the Owl Council, those blank white masks, you know, because when it came time to design those masks, I was drawing my inspiration from an owl skull, which looked pretty freaking creepy, man. They're, you know, gigantic owl eye sockets, and you know, they're spaced far apart. They got the beak there, so I was going kind of that with like maybe a black hood and then that over it. And he goes, you know, more like this, and he showed me some particular breed of owl that has very blank features and you know, white. And so we went with that China doll mask kind of, and it really worked out great, man, because it's fucking creepy, right? So see there, I told you I'd swear, so hopefully you can deal with it a little bit, but I'll try and tone it down for those with sensitive ears. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, yeah, I don't have much to worry about when it comes to coordinating. Yeah?
Yeah,